Hello and welcome back to my scrapbooking channel. I really do appreciate you stopping by and watching my video. So today I'm going to create another sketch from the current annual catalogue. So this catalogue has got so many beautiful products in it, and I've been using these sketches for some inspiration. So today I'm going to be doing this sketch here. So it's got lots of little photo placement and that sort of thing that you can use multiple photos. So that is the one I'm going to use today, and hopefully I can inspire you to get creative. So I'm going to be using the beautiful Floral Impressions paper range. It is a gorgeous floral, but it also has some beautiful background papers. So I'm thinking I'm wanting to use these for this grid style sketch today, and sort of incorporate all the papers throughout there with some florals and some of the plains, and make a fun layout with this beautiful floral range. May even do some fussy cutting. I'm loving this one. As you can see, I have used these papers already. So I'm going to be using up some of my scraps. Obviously, I don't want to use this brighter side, but the green just works perfectly with this, this paper as well as this one. So I'm thinking I'm going to be using my purples and some pinks and maybe even this gorgeous blue today. Sort of a bluey green. But yeah, it just works beautifully with these little flowers here. So that's the papers that I'm thinking of using, and we will see where this sketch takes us. Okay, so I'm thinking I may use this one as my background. If not, I might use it just a white cardstock, but I'm thinking I'll use this one to start. And what I'm going to do is start by cutting out some squares, and we'll just have a play with some placement and yeah, see where this goes. So like I said, I'm using up some scraps as well with these products. And let's start with this beautiful pink. So I'm thinking maybe doing 3 by 3 inch squares. Will we do 3 by 3 or will we do 2 by 2? Let me think. We might do even 2.5 by 2.5. Let's do that. I'm just trying to think too, because we've got what size photos that I'll be putting on it later. So this would be great if you've got a sequence of photos that you can crop down and make smaller. Maybe we will do 3 by 3. Let's try 3 by 3 and see how that's going to work, because we can always trim them down smaller. So let's do 3 by 3. I'm just going to cut out a few squares and then we can start doing some placement. So I've got my 3 by 3 in the pink. I definitely want this beautiful floral. So now I just want to say too, a huge thank you if you do watch this. It really does mean a lot to me, your support. So this is all very new to me and I'm just starting out. So if you could subscribe to my channel, that would be amazing, just to help me get going. And I hope that you like what you see and what I'm sharing. So let's start with those. So this is gorgeous, isn't it? Such a beautiful floral. So I'm thinking, and we've got the green as well. Now, I think it probably does call for the 2 by 2, but that's okay. I might even do it so that it is the 3 by 3. And I'm going to swap that around. I'm going to have to do that. Let's do that. We don't want the same colours in a row. And I'm just sort of changing the direction of the stripes as well, just to mix it up a little bit. So we just need one more of the floral. I love sketches because they give you a starting point, so somewhere where you can start getting some creativity happening, and then you can change it to suit yourself. So you may not do it exactly like the sketch, but it helps you to get started. So that is a starting place. So what I might do is, I love inking things, so let me just go and choose an ink, and we will do some inking. I'm even thinking of doing some stamping in the background, and we'll start putting this together. Okay, so I decided to cut out just a white piece as well to sit behind these, and so that's 10 by 10 is my white square. So I haven't cut out the back yet, but what I will do is I will cut out the back so that I'm not wasting that paper behind it. And what I've gone and looked at my inks to see what I've got that will work good with this paper range. And all I've got at the moment, these are older colours, but you probably have got them in your stash anyway or something similar. I've got the Misty Moonlight, or I've got Fresh Freesia, which I thought will work nicely with this range. So I'm wanting to ink the edges just so those squares stand out a little bit more. And I'm even thinking I might even distress the edges. I love distressing on my pages as well. So let's maybe do a little bit of distressing, and I just use the edge of my scissors, and I just don't push too hard. You might have a distressing tool. I don't have one, so scissors are fine. You just need to use the edge of your scissors, and it will just give that edge a nice, just a little bit of a rougher look, add a little bit of dimension to your page. So I'm just going to do that for all my edges. If you would like a more distressed look, a more ripped look, you can open your scissors and use the blade area, and that will give you, it will probably rip every now and then, so it gives you a lot more of a distressed look. So it just depends on the look you're wanting to go for. So we will distress all those up. So I've decided to swap out, I'm thinking that background, I'm really loving the navy in this paper range, and I've got the Misty Moonlight paper stamping. So this isn't Misty Moonlight cardstock, it is just a navy cardstock I had in my stash. So yeah, you could obviously, if you've got this particular cardstock, you could grab that one from your stash, but I was just sort of thinking I really liked more of the darker background. So I'm thinking I'm going to swap that out and do the darker background. That's where my my thoughts are going at the moment. So I'm just going to pop that one to the side for now. And then I have distressed all my edges, and I'm thinking I will, for my squares, I'm going to ink the edges with the Misty Moonlight, just so they pop off the page a little bit more. And then for this edge, thinking I may ink it in the Fresh Freesia, just so that it stands out a little bit more on the navy background. But like anything, it's a work in progress, so you just sort of create as you go. I am going to move the cardstock out the way because I don't want to get any of my darker ink on my white cardstock while we're inking those edges. So I'm going to ink them with a little bit of this Misty Moonlight. Now I'm just using, I've got a inking tool here, and all I want to do is the edges so that they just pop out a little bit. So I'm just holding it straight on so that it just goes on that edge, and you can just see how it adds just that bit of definition around the edges. So let's ink up the rest, and then we can move to the next stage. Okay, so I have inked up all my squares with my Misty Moonlight, and I also inked up my large background there square with the Fresh Freesia. So I just did that and allowed it to dry a little bit. So now let's pop these back and have a little bit of a play with our placement, and we'll start working on some embellishments as well. So let's pop these back. Don't remember how I had them before, but that doesn't matter. We can change it up. So that one will need to go down. We can change things around. So then we'll want a pink one here. The green one that way. All right, so now on the sketch, you can see there's an embellishment cluster here, an embellishment cluster here, a couple of spots for some journaling. But that's up to you where you put your photos really. So these, what we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 places. Well, actually, no, I don't have 9 because I've only got the 3 across, haven't I? So you can do what you've got 1, 2, you can do the 3 photos in the middle if you like. And then I'm going to be doing my embellishment cluster here. And I'll probably do one at the top here as well. So sort of there and here. And what I'm thinking of doing is some fussy cutting of this beautiful flower, and we'll make them sort of stand up a bit more. We'll cut out some leaves. I've even got a leaf stamp that I'm thinking I might do. This is the Delicate Dahlias, so I might even stamp some of those up. But I've also got, this is a Christmas one that I've got in my stash. I thought I could use this leaf here or this one here and do some fussy cutting with them. I could even use that one there actually. So I'm maybe going to do some stamping as well. I even thought I might do some of these flowers because they actually match nicely with that, and stamp them, maybe some in the Fresh Freesia and some in the Misty Moonlight. So that's where I'm sort of thinking at the moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fussy cut out some of these flowers first of all, and I'm just going to use one of my scraps to begin with. I love fussy cutting, which you will learn if you watch more of my videos. I do love to fussy cut because not everyone can afford or has a die cutting machine. That is something that I would love in the future, but at the moment it's not something that I can afford, and I know a lot of people are like that. So fussy cutting is a great way to create your own embellishments for the cost of one piece of paper, basically. So I know it is something I would love in the future, and that is the plan, to get my own die cutting machine. But at the moment, I know money's tight for so many people, so not everyone can afford to have one. So it does take a little bit more time, of course, but it's enjoyable. You sit there, do some fussy cutting, and it's very rewarding when you see your project coming together. Just think, you did all that. You cut all those out all by hand. I might even do some of these little leaves, but we're going to add in lots more in with our stamps as well. So just cut them out. So yeah, gonna do lots and lots of fussy cutting. So I will do that now, and I'm not gonna make you wait while I cut out a heap of flowers. We will do that, and I'll come back in a minute. Okay, so I'm just doing some stamping now with the delicate dahlias. Don't mind my dog having a little bark there. And I'm just using these little cute flowers here. And I'm just having a play. What I'm doing is I'm stamping up the shadow, I guess you can call it. So the shadow of it. And I'm just stamping it off because I don't want that to be too dark. So I'm stamping it off. And then I'm doing second generation stamping for that. So just stamping off. And then I'm just going over it with the outline stamp. And I'm not stamping off on that one. I'm keeping it because I want it to be a bit darker. So then I just need to line it up. So apologies if my head goes into the screen, but I'm just sort of lining that up, and then you're getting that nice outline there. So that one I did a little bit dark, but that's okay. So just lining that up with the stamp. If you don't get it perfect, it doesn't matter because it just adds to the effect. Just lining that up. And that way then you get a little bit of a textured look to it as well, a bit of a layered look. So I'm going to cut those out as well. So I'm also doing some with the Fresh Freesia ink. Now this one, because it's a lighter ink, when I did the second generation, it was a little bit too light. So I'm just stamping it straight on, and I think that color's perfect. So no need to stamp off for that one. And then I'm going to go in with that outline again. And just lining it up. That's what I love about clear stamps, is that you're able to line them up quite easily. And like I said, it doesn't matter if it's not perfect, because that just adds to the whole dimension of it all. I'll stamp that one even though it's a bit lighter. able to use it still. So there's some quick, easy, simple embellishments that we can now cut out, and we'll be able to use them to layer on our page. I'm also going to do some leaves. Okay, so I have finished all my fussy cutting and I've actually stuck everything down, and now we're up to the fun part of working with all the embellishments that I've cut out, and we're just going to have a play and do make a couple of clusters. So I also thought I would put these little flags at the top here. I just thought, just for a landing place for my title when I come to adding my photos to it, because I'm not sure what photos I'm going to add at this stage. So I thought that's a good landing spot for my title when I do it. But yeah, I just thought we'll have a little bit of a play, and I'm going to be mounting them up on some foam tape. This is the fun bit where you just sort of move things around. I stamped some leaves as well from the, it was from this Christmas season stamp set. So that's the leaves there that I used. So any sort of leaf that you've got in your stash, like I said, if you're someone who hasn't got a die cutting machine, it's a great way to make your own embellishments. So I'm just sort of, yeah, having a bit of a play. But like I said, I do want them up on foam tape, and it's just going to be a matter of building up some clusters, moving them around, adding in bits and bobs and having a bit of a play. So we'll just sort of start. I don't actually sit things down too firmly until I'm happy with the placement. So you can always pull them up and move them. So I'm just putting some foam dots on the back. Got some little leaves there as well. This is always the fun bit, doing your embellishing. Now, if you like to, I like to just sort of curl the leaves a little bit. I know it's going to get flattened in your album, but I just like that. It just gives a little bit of dimension to them as well. Tuck that little one in behind there. And also remembering that, excuse me, we're going to be popping our photos on still as well. Mine will just be small photos, although you could put a larger photo over the top of your squares. So if you had a 5x7 photo, you could definitely tuck it in there. And then have your embellishments coming around it, and then you've got your titles. So that is certainly something that would work. They don't have to be that smaller size photo. If you've got a 6x4, what's a 6x4? You could even do a 6x4 in the middle there. Down the bottom, you could do a 6x4 there, and you could even do probably, you might even fit another one there, and just crop them down slightly. So certainly can work in with any size photo. You don't have to do the smaller size photos. So let's keep building up these little clusters. I like lots of lots of detail in my clusters. So I can do another leaf coming out there. So yeah, we'll just keep having a play and keep building these clusters up. And I think I might need just a couple more flowers in there. Tuck that one in underneath perhaps. And then we can work on that bottom corner as well. So here, as I said earlier, I've incorporated some of the paper as well as some stamped images. So, I don't know about that one there. So it's a matter of having a play around. Maybe even, oh, maybe I do like it there. So then we'll do the same down in this lower corner and we'll build up a little cluster there as well. Okay, so we've just had a play there. I've done a bit of placement. Just got a couple of these little leaves that I'm just going to tuck in. These ones are ones that I've fussy cut from the pattern paper. Just to finish off. There's one more at the top there. So easy to make a layout by doing fussy cutting and stamping. So I'm just going to adhere these to the top as well. Find my end. So it really is a simple layout, but I'm loving all the detail, loving all the detail. Just line that up. Oops. And then that's, like I said, a good landing spot for my title once I decide what I'm going to put on there. Now, I'm just thinking too, I'll have to finish it off with some dots. I always like to put dots on, but I'm not thinking these colours are kind of right for it. I do have these. These might look good. I think these were from a card kit that I had previously. They've sort of got some pinks and purples in them. So I'm just thinking I just want to scatter a couple of little ones just in and around my clusters. Just to add some bling. It's always nice to have some bling. I'm just sort of picking ones that have got a bit more pink and purple in them. So, and I can always put up here too, it depends where my title's going to go to, but I feel like I could put some dots up there as well. And I might even do a couple just on the background there. Just as a little bit of extra something. on my background. Don't like them to be even. All right, so that has come from a really easy sketch that you can see in the annual catalogue. If you'd like a copy of this catalogue and you live in Australia, let me know and I can get one out to you. But so far we've done this one and this one. Let's get all these done over the next few weeks. Such a simple layout, but I'm really happy with the end result. And like I said, you could put two 6x4 photos on there. If you're just cropping them down a little bit, like you just need to crop them slightly. You could do a 5x7 photo on there as well. Again, just possibly cropping it down slightly, just so you're not covering up that bottom bit there, or you could slide it up underneath the embellishments. So I hope you enjoyed that sketch design that I've come up with, a little bit different to the sketch in the catalogue, but it just gives you a starting point. Thanks again for watching. Please hit that subscribe button and check back again later to see what else I've been up to in the scrapbooking world. I really do appreciate your support, and I hope you'll come back again and see my next video. Thanks again for watching. I really appreciate it. See ya.